The 30s were a mean decade. A decade with brass knuckles for hands and a boot on the throat of anyone too poor, too black, or too unlucky to get out of its way. I've pored over enough case files to know the pattern. A man gets murdered. A councilman, a sheriff, a school teacher. And suddenly, the whole damn city wants a head on a platter. Doesn't matter whose, just so long as it bleeds. Take Hyman Martin. Bootlegger, sure. But a killer? Not likely. Didn't matter. The cops had a 16-year-old girl and a prostitute they could squeeze like overripe fruit. Threaten them with jail, wave a few photos under their noses, and presto, you've got yourself a murderer. Never mind that Martin was in another city paying a hospital bill. Details like that only get in the way of a good conviction. Then there were Dame and Decker down in Arkansas. Two country boys beaten for 8 hours straight until one of them confessed to shooting a sheriff in the back. Funny thing, years later, a real gangster bragged in his memoir that he and Freddie Barker did the job. But by then, Dame was dead in a cell, and Decker was a free man with a ruined life. Justice delayed isn't justice. It's just cruelty with a clock. And Florida was a whole different kind of hell. 4 black tenant farmers dragged into a jail without warrants, without lawyers, without a prayer. Outside, a mob gathered each night, hungry for a lynching. Inside, the cops whispered the same poison they'd used on men like John Johnson decades earlier. Confess, and we'll save you from the rope. 3 broke. 1 didn't. Didn't matter. All 4 were sentenced to die. 9 years on death row. 9 years listening to the hum of the electric chair through the walls. 9 years before the Supreme Court finally said what everyone already knew, that confessions beaten out of terrified men aren't worth the paper they're written on. But the case that sticks with me, the one that keeps me up nights, is Rudolph Sheeler in Philadelphia. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong color of luck. The cops needed a fall guy to cover up their own dirty deals with a killer named Jack Howard. Howard was dead, and dead men can't confess. So they grabbed Sheeler, beat him until he couldn't stand, and forced him to take the blame for 3 murders he didn't commit. His confession didn't match the facts. Didn't matter. They rewrote it, typed up a new version and shoved it under his nose. 3 judges swallowed it whole. Bilger, the first poor bastard they'd framed, was pardoned, but the damage was done. He'd gone insane in prison. 12 years later, the truth finally clawed its way to daylight. Sheeler walked free, blinking like a man who'd forgotten what sunlight looked like. 6 cops were suspended. Suspended, not jailed, not tried. Suspended, like kids caught smoking behind the schoolyard. That's the thing about justice in this line of work. It's slow, it's crooked. And sometimes, it's not justice at all. Just a story written by the men with the guns and the keys. But me? I keep digging. Because someone has to. Someone has to remember the names of the ones who never should have been caged. Someone has to speak for the men whose confessions were written in blood, sweat, and fear. In this city, the truth doesn't walk in the light. It hides in the shadows, and I'm the poor fool who keeps chasing it.